Hello there folks, Sam's Trains here and welcome back to the railway and welcome back to another review. Now I get asked about this one quite a lot and I've never done a proper review on this before, and you can't tell it by the packaging on the outside because it's very plain, but this is actually the Flying Scotsman. And yeah, this is one of the Tri-ang ones, which I really love. And I've left this sort of cover on it because when they were produced from Tri-ang, they did actually come in like a cardboard sleeve. This one isn't original, of course, but you know, back in the day, they did come in a sleeve like that. So actually this one is the quite rare one. It's a little bit more rare than the standard one. This is the BR green one with the black nameplate. So yeah, I'll take this off and let you see it. Here it is. And this is the original box now, and it really is a very good box. It's got some very interesting quirks to it. You've got this, a little sticker, a lift tray for instruction leaflet. Sadly, this one doesn't have that anymore, but not to worry. And then just here on the front, you've got this this big sort of banner, Tri-ang Hornby, the Flying Scotsman. So obviously quite a revered title. So yeah, quite interesting about that. We'll get that out in just a second. First, here's the end of the box. Let me show you what it says there. You've got R.850 BR Flying Scotsman and tender. So yes, the Flying Scotsman would have been painted into BR green sometime after 1948 when BR started. So basically what that was is when all of the big four, the LNER and the others, all merged together to become British Railways in 1948. This is the kind of livery that you would have seen. Okay, so let's get the tender out first then. Quite a standard tender in the BR green. Very nice condition, as you can see. A real beauty. And quite unusual really to see it in the BR green. I don't suppose Tri-ang made all that many of them, and I certainly like that very much. Okay, on to the Locomotive then. And the Locomotive is super heavy. It's as heavy as the Wren ones, it really is. It's got some big sort of brass weights in it, which means that it weighs an awful lot. But there it is again, virtually completely mint condition. It really is fantastic, this one. And notice it's got the BR running number here, which is 60103. So yeah, very nice. Okay, I'll just show it you with the tender then. Hang on, let me put that with it. There it is. So yeah, we'll get onto that in a moment, but there is one more thing to show you about this box. So let me just pop this down, because on the back, and I've never seen this done before on a Tri-ang loco, on the back you've got the history of the Locomotive, just like you have on the modern Hornby models, for example. So yeah, feel free to pause that if you want to. I thought that was really cool that this one had that on it. But yeah, anyway, for now, let me flip this back over. Let's get on with the review then with this Flying Scotsman, and also a little bit of information, and I'm going to do that first. So here's a little bit of history then on the Flying Scotsman. So it was built in 1923 for the Great Northern Railway, and at the time it would have been classified as an A1. Later, as with the other Class A ones, it was modified to have a better boiler, smaller cylinders and altered Walschaerts valve gear, and these changes led to the reclassification of A3 as it is today. Initially though, in 1923, the Flying Scotsman carried the number 1472 before it was changed to the more famous 4472. The Flying Scotsman also set 2 world records. The first one was for officially reaching 100 miles an hour before any other locomotive, and the second one was for completing the longest non-stop run for any steam locomotive, though admittedly this happened a little bit later, in 1989. After being saved from scrap, the Flying Scotsman has seen multiple owners and is now owned by the National Railway Museum, who have just given it its very public overhaul, and it's in fantastic condition again. In total then, 79 A3s were produced during the 1920s and 30s, though sadly the Flying Scotsman is the only example that was preserved. And there she is then against the white background, this BR green Flying Scotsman. And before I say anything about the detail, I must point out that this locomotive came out in 1968, so really close to 50 years old now. And you know, considering that age, I think the detail and the way that this one has been preserved is just so impressive. The paintwork is absolutely beautiful. So let's look at that. As you can see, you've got the sort of Brunswick green with these orange stripes which go along the boiler, starting over at the smoke box and going all the way along the top. And if you look closely at that, you can see it really has been applied terribly well. And some modern locomotives have worse paint on them than that. So actually that is really quite impressive. And of course you've got these handrails which aren't separately fitted unfortunately, but they have been painted in silver here, just like that, as you can see there. And there's some more of those on the side of the cab, as you can see there, which look very nice. And also you've got the running number applied there, 60103, with that orange border around it there, as you can see. Sadly no glazed windows there, but it would be very unusual to see a model that has glazed windows in this time. Of course you've got that Welshurst valve gear, as you can see, which looks gorgeous on the side there, and the valve chest, or the steam chest, has those orange stripes on it as well, which is really, really nice. Let's go around the front and look at the smoke box. As you can see, it has more of the sort of silver painting on it, on the handle and the handrail, and it also has the running number printed onto there as well, which is very nice. The front buffer beam is very simple. It is pretty simple, this one, but it's got this lovely sort of glossy red on it, as well as separately fitted turned metal buffers. Up on the top you can see there's a couple of safety valves up there which are also separately fitted, and I think they're quite a nice touch actually. So let's have a quick look inside the cab, because you can see there's some 50-year-old cab detail inside there, which is pretty good actually. It isn't painted sadly, and if you had a very steady hand I suppose you could paint it in there, but overall it is a very good model. I think for the age this really stands up to modern locomotives really nicely. And you'll also see, you know, when it runs, what a good all-rounder this one is. Okay, let's move on to the tender very quickly then. So the tender has received the same lovely Brunswick green livery as you can see, and it's got the late British Railways crest on the side there, which is really nicely applied, it certainly is. It's got sort of minimal detail, it is pretty basic. You have got some underframe detail there, which is alright. And round the back you've got some more moulded detail there too, but you know, generally the tender does the job. It looks like a tender, and I think the paint job is really quite nice on there. The coal load isn't bad either. You can see it looks reasonably realistic, but sadly it isn't removable, so you can't take it out and replace it with real coal. But notice there is a coal shovel moulded onto there, which is pretty nice. I'm not sure how the driver or fireman would reach it all the way up there, but I suppose they must have done. But yeah, there we go then. So the detail on this is really quite good for the age, as I've said. I am really impressed by it, and because I'm a lover of you know, vintage locomotives, this one in particular is just a real favourite for me. It's definitely a winner. And I forgot to mention as well, inside the cab you do have the light up firebox, which hopefully we'll see a little bit later on when she runs, but of course you need power to do that. So yeah, let's take her onto the tracks then and see how she runs. Let's do it. Okay, so there she is then, down onto the tracks, ready to run, and she's going to do that in just a second. But first I'm going to show you what else is on the layout, because it's going to be a bit of a Flying Scotsman running session today. First of all then, the apple green one. This is the same engine of course, but from a little bit earlier on in the LNER period. And she's got a big rake of 6 LNER teak coaches, and that's just about all she can manage. So yeah, not to worry about that. Then on the inner line, yet another Flying Scotsman in a very slightly different livery. It's what I think it's a bit of a lighter green. I thought to start with it had been stored in the sun and it had gone a different colour, but it is actually how they produced them apparently. So yeah, that's that one, and it's got 4 Tri-ang coaches, and this one here, this green one, is going to be pulling well, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the teak blood and custard coaches. And yes, because she's got this extra weight in her, she can pull those without a problem. And also then on the layout, I think there's 5 other locomotives out there today, so see if you can name them all, and also see if you can spot the odd one out. But here we go then, let's give this BR Green Flying Scotsman a little bit of performance test and see how she goes. So here we go. I don't know what direction she's set in, but let's try some slow speed. As you can see, she is moving. It's a little bit jolty at this speed, not terribly smooth, but as you crank it up a little bit, as you can see, that is just fantastic. And you know, for an XO4 motor, this is really, really, really good. You know, I think some modern Hornby locos don't crawl as well as this one does, and they certainly don't pull as much either. But here we go, forwards again then. There you go, very slightly smoother in forwards, I would say. Bring her back in, absolutely stunning, fantastic. And here's a little shot I took earlier of the light in the firebox. You can just about see that there. Not a great shot, I'm sorry, but yeah, not too bad. Okay, let me reverse her then. Let's go and get her to pick up those coaches. Oh, steady. You push her back into shot. Okay. And yes, those of you who have Tri-ang stuff of your own will know that you know, 8 coaches is an awful lot for one of these to pull. So yeah, let's see if she can do it. I think she can. Let's hope she does. Here we go, nice gentle start. As you can see, without a single moment's hesitation. Absolutely perfect. Okay, let's get the others started then. And this one, by the way, is the only Tri-ang loco I have that actually runs on DCC. And very, very good she is too. So there she goes. And finally then, my other LNER Green Flying Scotsman. Here she goes. Yeah, manages those just fine as well. Okay, let's have a running session then. No, you haven't got a problem with your sight. You can see 3 Flying Scotsmans at the same time. Beautiful. Look at all those coaches go. And great speed they've got as well. Look at them fly around. Got to have them at an express speed. So yes, do let me know which livery you prefer. I guess most people are going to prefer the LNER green version because it's a bit more traditional, but I must admit I do really like that BR green one. It's got a lot of character to it. But as I say, yeah, let me know. Now, they're all nice, don't get me wrong, but go on, everybody's got to have their favourite. And there's my DCC one. Can't really tell, but she is a superb runner. They all are, really. Brilliant. So here are my ratings then for the Tri-ang Flying Scotsman. First of all, detail 8 out of 10. Of course, this isn't compared with modern locomotives, because if it was, it would get more like a 6. But this is nearly 50 years old, so I've taken that into account. Performance, 9 out of 10. Beautifully smooth, super powerful. Really can't fault the performance. Character, 10 out of 10. Come on, it's the Flying Scotsman. Build quality, 10 out of 10. It's so solidly built. You know, it's survived all these years without a single mark on it. Brilliant build quality. Value, I think I paid about £65 for this, which is a little bit steep, but to be honest, for what I got, I'm really chuffed to bits, no pun intended. So 8 out of 10 there. Overall then, 9 out of 10. What a gorgeous locomotive. Yeah, no slowing down up the hill with this one either. Just powers on right through. Absolutely beautiful. Love it to bits. Alright then folks, well that should just about do it for today and the Flying Scotsman. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed seeing those. If you did like the video, please feel free to leave it a like or even a comment, because I do love to hear from you all. And of course, if you'd like to, you can check out the Facebook and the Twitter pages. And they're at facebook.com/samstrains and twitter.com/samstrains. It would be really lovely to see you over there, of course. But for now, thank you very much for watching once again, and I'll see you very soon. Oh yeah, and don't forget, if you want to send in your pictures or drawings for me to put up on the wall of fame that is, you can send them in still to samstrains@outlook.com, and I will put every one up onto the wall so that you can see it. But it is a little bit out of date because I'm filming this video quite a way in advance. So yes, do that, but for now everybody, once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Cheers everyone.